Transition elements should actually be known as transition metals. The majority of them can be found from groups 3 to 12 of the periodic table. An example of a transition metal would be iron. Iron is found in group 9. The unique thing about transition metals is that, unlike regular ions, such as lithium, which have a definite charge of 1 positive, transition metals can have varying charges. Or, as an example, you can have an iron with a charge of +1, +2, or +3, and etc. However, you don't write transition metals charges like this. Instead, you write them with Roman numerals, like this. And so on. To bond transition metals and ionic compounds with nonmetals is the same as regular ionic bonds like lithium. So let's do now. Let's say this particular iron has a charge of 1. And chlorine always has a charge of 1 negative. Since this is a metal, it'll always have a positive charge. And when balancing an ionic compound, the metal is always written first. So you would take the charges, 1 positive and 1 positive. And in this case, instead of writing them as subscripts of each other, the charges actually just cancel out and you write FeCl. That is a balanced compound. Fun fact about iron: the reason why it's written Fe and not Ir is because the Latin name for iron is ferrum, and Fe is the abbreviated version of ferrum. And that's all for transition metals.
Why is it called transition metals?
Because transition elements are all metals. So I like to call them transition metals instead of transition elements. Mm. And remember, metals will always have a positive charge.
So, you ever heard of ferrous?
No.
It's in vitamins sometimes.